Hello everyone, Common Sense right here. Today we're going to be looking at the very viral, the story that I'm sure everyone knows. I'm late to the party. Tish Hyman, how this African American lady got kicked out of a gym in LA, I believe. Kicked out of a gym because she was complaining and freaking out that a man, biological man, was in the locker room with her as she was naked. Are we serious? She got kicked out for this. Tell me how ridiculous that is. Absolutely sickening. So we're gonna take a look at some of the videos. There's even been some newer stuff to come out about said man that was in the locker room. And just so we're clear, this lady's absolutely a victim. I mean, under no circumstances should a man be in the locker room with a woman. Under zero circumstances. It's gross, it's nasty, it's awful. And let me ask you this. Would you jail someone, or at the very least convict someone of a type of crime, if you're in the house changing and a man was at the window peeping on you changing, would you convict that of a crime? So why wouldn't we do the same if a biological man is in the locker room where there are other naked women? Tell me why we wouldn't consider that a crime, but you'd consider the peeping tom thing a crime. It's the same thing. It is the same principle. It's disgusting, and this type of ideology needs to be done away with. Absolutely. All right, so here is the video in question.
Gold gym, men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck?
What's really shocking and alarming is that no one seems to care. Like, where are the empowering women coming to this girl's rescue? She just dropped a huge, alarming red flag of a bomb that there are men in the women's locker rooms. And no one seems to even care. Absolutely disgusting. What's up with empowering women? Yeah. Yet there's a woman here clearly in in a tough time here. Clearly, having something distraught happen to her, and yet no woman seems to care. Absolutely disgusting. And to be I've always said this, to be pro trans is to be against real women. If you accept the premise that you support fake women, men being in these safe spaces of real life women, then just by default you're being prejudiced towards the actual women, real women, like by default. I mean that's literally what it is. Absolutely disgusting. Let's just keep watching.
Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid.
I agree, it is stupid.
Dangerous.
It is dangerous, absolutely.
Me
Sickening.
naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room. And that goes.
And that is sickening. And she's absolutely right. She is getting kicked out. She got her membership removed even because she's saying how it is, that she doesn't want men in the locker room. And she got kicked out and her membership revoked for this. Absolutely disgusting. They're like I said, to side with trans, which is just mentally ill people pretending to be something that they're not. You're by default being prejudiced against the real victim here, the real life woman. Absolutely ridiculous. You can't be in favor of real women and trans women. You can't. Absolutely cannot. So, are you going to side with the mentally ill or the actual real life mentally stable woman that has the life experience of a woman, and not the mentally ill person that, oh yeah, I feel like no, you're not gonna side with the mentally ill. At very least, you shouldn't. And if you do, then I think you might be a little mentally ill. But okay, so that was that clip. So now this is the clip of the man. This is the man right here, the perpetrator that was in the locker room. And this is sort of the video of them confronting him. So let's take a listen. Let's take a gander.
How are you? Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm the guy asking you a fucking question.
Exactly. Get out of the way. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right?
Now he's acting like a man. Look at this stupid face, dude. Absolutely ridiculous.
He knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room.
That side eye is crazy.
He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
So disgusting. And they say they understand, yet they kick her out and revoke her membership. Do nothing about the biological man entering the woman's bathroom. Absolutely disgusting and sickening behavior, dude.
I'm not causing.
How are you?
Oh, this guy needs to be jailed. This guy's a fart knocker, a turd ball. Absolutely disgusting behavior. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely disgusting, vile. And very gross. And then here, this is the aftermath. This is Tish Hyman. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tish Hyman explaining, a little exposition about after the fact. Her thoughts in the car. And we'll get a quick little listen.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America, where like trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it.
And at the end of the day, what is a trans man or a trans woman? It's a man pretending to be a woman. That's all it is. So what she's saying is men in the women's locker room, because that's all a trans man is, or a trans woman. Sorry, that's all a trans woman is. It's a biological man. Spoiler alert: if you cut your wiener off, you're still a man. You just have a mutilated wiener. Okay, if you split it in half and fold it inside out, you have a mutilated dingling. You're still a man. If you get implants for your chest, you're just a man with some knockers on you, I guess. I mean that's it. That's all a trans woman is. It's a biological man at the end of the day still. And nothing can ever change that. And this is something that we need to stop accepting. When we see signs of this, parents need to step up and they need to stop giving in to this delusion. Because it's ridiculous and it's not rooted in any factual or scientific data at all. There are men and there are women, and it's that simple. And men should not, under no circumstance, be in these safe spaces of real women. It's that simple.
And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed a sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym, and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel?
Absolutely. I mean, these phonies, these fake buffoons that claim to be women, they could care less about real women and how they feel, dog. They could care less about stealing first place in a women's sporting event. They could care less about infringing on the rights and being indecent in these private spaces for real women. It's all about me. That's all they care about. They don't care about anyone else. They don't. And if they did, they'd stop this. If they really cared, they'd go about their day pretending to be whatever it is they want to be. You know, that's fine. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. If you want to identify whatever you want to identify with, go right ahead. You know, but don't push it on kids. And I don't think anyone in the world should be forced to call you something that you're factually and biologically not. Whether that's a man when you're a woman when you're a man, whether it's a fox or a dog or a raccoon or a skunk, I'm not going to call you that because you're factually and biologically not.
That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now. And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
Absolutely right. She nailed it. Hit the hammer right on the head with the ballpoint pen. Absolutely right. These men have no right. They are not women. They don't know what it's like to be a little girl because they're not real women. So this is him, the man in all his glory. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a chick. When I think of a woman, this is definitely what I think of. Okay, and the story gets even crazier. So, as a woman, I will always have listen to ish back. I saw this morning that the drug trafficking charge was released. But it's actually worse than that. Grant Freeman, the man who was found in the women's locker room of Gold's Gym, was charged with 3 counts related to drugs, trafficking, possession, and failure to comply. He was also charged with third-degree felony for domestic violence. Interesting. Does that sound like someone who needs to be in the women's locker room? I don't think so. And was convicted November 2022. He spent 12 months in the Department of Corrections with a 219-day credit. The man spending time in the women's locker room is a drug addict and violent abuser. Color me surprised. And count 1, failure to comply with an order or signal police officer. Count 2, trafficking in cocaine. Huh. Wow. Count 3, possession of cocaine. And then, of course, count 1 of domestic violence. Does that sound like someone who needs to be in the women's locker room? Someone who has a history of domestic violence? I don't think so. Allowing a man into the same safe spaces as, vulnerable women is absolutely vile and disgusting. And honestly, that gym, for even tolerating this, is absolutely sick and disgusting. And it just says a lot about society norms today. Absolutely just vile. So yeah, I mean the takeaway is this trans ideology is disgusting, needs to stop. Let me know what you guys thought about the Tish Hyman story. What is it? What's everyone's thoughts on it? I think it's pretty clear what my stance and thoughts are, but I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Do you stand with Tish Hyman? I certainly do. This is so corrupt, so nonsensical, and it needs to stop. Absolutely needs to stop. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I hope to see you on the next one. God bless you all. God bless the USA. And remember, Jesus Christ is King. Good night, y'all.